Okay, thank you so much. You are all welcome to this Aruba course, teaching and learning. Basically today we are trying to have a look on the memory and the forgetting. These are two different terms, memory and forgetting. In your own words, what can you say on memory? It's not necessarily defining, but what do you think about memory? What do you say memory? Memory, what is it? Memory, yeah?
A scene.
Sorry?
A scene.
A scene?
You remember.
I'm not making a recording. Okay?
A scene you remember. At a certain point or an event.
A scene you remember, I think the second one.
A scene you remember. Whatever definition.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not trying to ask you to define the thing, but I want you to actually tell me something on memory.
A scene or an event you remember.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A scene or an event you remember. Okay, yes? What do you say?
I think I'll go with what just when the process of remembering or keeping some things in the head, things that I should remember.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like way of saying.
Okay. Forgetting. Listening. You know myself.
I think losing something you had in your
Losing something you had in your memory. Okay? Do you really lose that whatever? What thing, information, knowledge you had in your memory and because of it?
for a particular guy, do something for that guy. But as time goes by, you end up remembering.
Okay. Well, concept of memory, the development, progress, and survival of human beings are based on learning. That's our preamble. The ability to recall what we have learned earlier is called memory. Once again, the ability to recall what we have learned earlier is called what? Memory. The learned things and the experiences are stored in our what? Mind. So that it can be utilized at the time of requirement. So whatever we learned, that information, that knowledge is not lost. There in you, in your mind, and at the appointed time, that will be made use, will be actually, at what time you end up using that knowledge, that information you have stored. It's stored in you. Well, in psychology, learning, retention, recall, and recognition together constitutes memory. Once again, in psychology, learning, retention, recall, and recognition together constitutes memory. All together? Learning, retention, and then recall, and recognition together constitute what we call memory. Effective learning process needs good memory. We think and reason largely with remembered facts and with the help of our perception and the continuity of our memories. Memory is the function of the mind by virtue of which it records, retains, and produces ideas by its own activity. Are we reading the point here? Or we are lost? Again? We are saying memory is the function of the mind by virtue of which it records, retains, and produces ideas by its own activity. Lost?
Can you explain?
Memory is the function. You know what function is? Function of what? Of the mind, by virtue of which it records. Recording. So your mind does, and your mind does record. What you have learned is being recorded. And then retaining information, keeping that information, storing that information.
Okay, in short, you can say, we're trying to say, memory is function to.
But please, speak about
Are they trying to say that the memory function is to record it, then keep the information, then produce it? Is that what the
we are saying memory is the function of something else. In this case, we're talking about the function of the mind. Right? When we talk about memory, think about the function of the mind. It's the function of the mind. By virtue of which it records. That's the duty of the mind. To record. And recording, not only recording, but also retaining that information which has been recorded. Because recording is something different, and keeping it something different. So mind does record, at the same time, keeping what has been recorded. Okay? Yeah, so the thing is, you may have knowledge, you may attain knowledge, and then knowledge is kept in your mind. Though you may not remember everything, but it's there in the storeroom, in the storehouse for that knowledge. It's stored there, and that's why sometimes you say, you never know, all right? Yes, no, I never know, all right? So that particular information comes out, and then you say it. Well, let's move on. One of the important aims of learning is to acquire and retain acquired knowledge for future use in meeting the day-by-day life experiences and problems. Please understand that. Do you understand? we are saying one of the important helps of learning is to do what? To do what? To acquire what? To acquire knowledge or to gain what? Knowledge. Okay? And not only acquiring or also gaining, but also to retain that knowledge you have acquired, or retain that knowledge which has been acquired for future what? Use. So the fact is there is a storehouse. It is a place whereby knowledge is what? Kept within yourself. For future use in meeting the day-by-day life experiences and problems. The experiences or learning knowledge leaves behind memory, images, or traces. This preservation of memory, traces by our central nervous system or brain, is known as retention of the learning act. Once again, this preservation of memory, traces by our central nervous system or brain, is known as retention of the learning act. The strength and quality of the memory traces determines the duration of the retention. These retained memory traces are recognized and recorded when need arises. Thus, memory involves 4 stages: learning or experiencing something, its retention, recognition, and recall. Once again, thus memory involves 4 stages: learning or experiencing something, 1, its retention, 2, recognition, 3, and recall, 4. Now, let's try to define the term memory. Memory is a mental power which was in learning, retaining, and remembering what has previously been learned. That's according to Woodworth. Woodworth and his friend Marcus, that is 1948, claimed that memory is a mental power which was in learning, retaining, and remembering what has previously been what? Learned. You learn something today, and then you forget you have learned something. As I said earlier on, that knowledge you have gained today, or acquired today, it's not lost. Rather, it has been stored in what? Stolen within yourself, in your mind. But there's time whereby you will be able to remember that. That is, if you want to make use of that particular knowledge you gain. So at a point in time, for sure, that will come and you make use of it. So that's according to what Woodworth and his friend are saying. And then, memory is the learning capacity for responding, and its persistence over time is measured by retention test. Memory is the learning capacity for responding, and its persistence over time is measured by the retention test. Memory is the state of a subject that gives the capacity for correct occurrences of a criterion response. There is an initial acquisition session in which the subject makes a discriminative response to a stimulus. followed by a period of time called the retention interval, when the criterion response does not occur. That's according to J.A. Adams, 1967. Memory can be likened to a giant filing cabinet in the brain. Please take a look at that one. It's very, very interesting. Memory can be likened to a giant filing cabinet in the brain with data sorted, classified, and cross-forward for future references. It's fantastic. Remembering depends on how the brain goes about coding its input. That's Levin, 1978. To understand that, can you think about filing cabinet? In office, or in an office, there are so many files kept. And normally those files, full of information, they are kept in a filing what? Cabinet. All right? So whenever somebody wants to have one particular kind of knowledge or information, you just go into the filing cabinet, open it, get that particular file, and then you go through what you want to have at that particular hour. That's what happens in our brain. That's what happens in our brain. Our brain features like a filing cabinet. We have just a lot of files of information within our brain. You get the point? For sure, that's very true. Because as a human being, since then, you have just heard about so many things. And you have known just a lot of things in life. You have learned just a lot of things. Some things actually were taught by your parents, your own parents, your peers, teachers, and some have learned through observation. All those things are stored in a filing cabinet in your brain. Hello? Yes? Hello together? Yeah, so whatever you learn, it's there. And sometimes you may even try to recall, or you may recall what you were doing when you were young, when you were 5 years old. You could remember, or you can remember even today. You know, now I can remember when I was at 5 or 7 years old, I was actually doing A, B, C. That to say, whatever you learn, all right, is not distorted. You don't lose the information, the knowledge. Rather than knowledge and information, they are kept in a giant filing cabinet of your brain. All right? Sakina? All right. Concept of forgetting. Now, I've tried to appreciate how others have defined the term memory. Now, because we're talking about memory at the same time forgetting, let's have this concept of forgetting. When you are not able to remember a learned knowledge or experience, we say it is due to forgetting. Is it so? Why haven't you done this? So the place I forgot. That's what we normally do. Our inability to recall the learned material. Our inability to recall the learned material when we need it most is called what? Forgetting. I've read today, come tomorrow, asking you, yes, trivia please. What did you say yesterday? You say, what's that? I have forgotten. Here an ability to recall what you have learned or acquired. Forgetfulness is usually regarded as a liability and memory as an asset. It is the opposite of learning. Forgetfulness is considered as a great evil of life, as several times necessary things are forgotten, but not the unnecessary ones. Forgetting is the opposite of learning. In learning, the learner should be the learner. The learner keeps an experience in memory. In learning, the learner keeps an experience in what? Memory. While forgetting, he fails to bring it to the conscious brain. What he has, remember. In our daily life, we come across several kinds of experiences. As a matter of fact, every minute we get many impressions about many things. We cannot remember all these impressions. There's no way. Day in, day out, we get a lot of things. We see a lot of things. So it's not possible for you to remember whatever you come across on a daily basis at a go. But the fact that you are not remembering what you have attained, you have seen, you have observed, it doesn't mean that you have lost that information. Learn whatever you have observed, you have seen, you have learned, they are stored somewhere. That's in a giant filing cabinet where in your brain or of your brain. So you rich. Hey, can't answer yourself, thank you. You have just a lot of things, a lot of information. Let's move on. We say we will not remember all these impressions, and it is not essential to do so. We must be selective in remembering and forgetting. It is important for us to forget several experiences daily. To remember, we must forget. We forget to remember. So forgetting is not necessarily that somebody is maybe this person is growing old, but it's part of the game. It's very important for you to do something and sometimes remember something. Let's assume you remember all things at a go. How can you go about that? All the powers have been opened and remember everything. How can you speak? How can you utter all those things that go? So I think the design of a human being did this for a purpose. That at least some powers have been opened at every regular hour. All right? And that whatever is needed should be actually be used at every regular hour. Yeah? So design is God himself. All right? This I'm allowed, this file is needed for this information. And that file is open, and that knowledge is now to be what? Used. After I use it, you go to the profile, you leave it. So I think forgetting is part of the game. It's good for you to forget and sometimes to remember. The thing is, everything is there in you. I like this. It's very important. Sometimes we condemn people who do forget. You need to move it. Take your asset. It's part of the game. We all forget and we all remember. Okay? Some people as well have also tried to define the term forgetting. Forgetting is the loss, permanent or temporary, of the ability to recall or recognize something laid area. That's according to Draven 1952. Sorry, let's see, Man or Moon, 1957. Sorry. Forgetting is a loss, permanent or temporary, of the inability to recall or recognize something laid area. Moon, 1967. Somebody say, memory means failure at any time to recall an experience. A simple one and a straightforward kind of definition. Forgetting is the failure of at any time to recall an experience when attempting to do so or to perform an action previously learned. Somebody actually may teach you how to solve, maybe, for example, mathematical problem. Come tomorrow, you see yourself failing to solve that. All right? You are taught yes, you have acquired yes, but now, due to forgetfulness, you fail to solve the mathematical problem. It still has been forgotten. I don't know, but you know what? Let me try to remember now. You fail to solve that. You have more or less lost the information, the knowledge, the skill, but you have forgotten. Well, forgetting is the failure of the individual to revive to consciousness an idea or a group of ideas without the help of the original stimulants. That's Bhatia, 1967. Forgetting is the failure of the individual, all right, to refer to consciousness an idea or a group of mind, ideas, without the help of the original stimulus. What it means is, we have ideas, or set of ideas, or group of ideas. All those ideas, they are buried within yourself, just dormant. So, forgetting, we say, is the failure of and to revive those ideas buried within yourself, divided into consciousness. They're like unconscious state. So you want them to bring them to the conscious state. All right? So that failure of reviving these buried ideas in the filing cabinet, so-called the brain, that's what we call forgetting. That's what this man tried to put across. Hello? Hello? Pastor, please, second. Can I say that you do? Yeah, any input from you on this one? But I'll get the point.
Yeah.
Sylvia? Anything in addition on this one? Yeah, so that's what I have to understand. That we
Somehow,
Mhm.
we can conclude that collective memory works hand in hand with forgetting.
Mhm. You say what?
Memory works with forgetting.
Mhm.
Because when you forget,
Mhm.
okay, we forget what we just read, right?
Mhm.
And we keep the memory that we have just read. So when you forget what you have read,
Mhm.
that means you have lost the memory. But if you remember what you have read, that means you still have the memory. So we can say memory and forgetting. Somehow we can say they work together.
Mhm. What I say, Sylvia says, memory and forgetting the way hand in hand. What I say? Sorry?
I think it's right because memory and feeling work together.
Mhm.
But if you still have the things that you have acquired or you learned, it will be forgotten.
Mhm.
But when you forget the things that you have acquired, you have lost memory. Not it's either permanent
Mhm.
or just for a short
Temporary, yeah.
just temporary.
Mhm.
So memory works together with forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's trying to agree with you to say yes, memory does work hand in hand with what? Forgetting. Yeah, and I think you are right. And I like this kind of definition among these three to say forgetting means failure at any time to recall an experience. Not that one, but this one. Forgetting is the failure of an individual to define to consciousness an idea or group of ideas. I like that one because sometimes it's because you have taken a lot of a long time, time has elapsed, long time has gone. You may think you are an empty bucket. You may think you are an empty slate. You may think you have nothing within yourself. You may think you haven't acquired any knowledge. But to your amazement, if you, for example, you are studying for exams, when you go into the room, it's like you have no any idea. But when you sit down and start writing, then you see ideas flow. All right? You see ideas flowing, and you like. You wonder, what does this mean? Liking all these things. You tend to wonder. So, memory ideas never get what? Destroyed. Rather, they are bad. They are like dead. A time will come that they will be revived, come back to life. You make use of them. Okay, now let's look at types of memory. Types of memory. It's a very good subject. Very good course. I tell you, it's psychology. Really. Psychologists have classified memory into certain types according to its nature and purpose it serves. Memory has been classified into certain types according to its nature and purpose it serves. So we have what we call sensory memory, or in other words, immediate memory. This is a type of what? Memory. Sensory or immediate memory is the memory that helps an individual to recall something immediately after it is perceived. You get the point. Remember those two terms, sensation, and then what else? Perception. So we are saying sensory or immediate memory is the memory that helps an individual like you and me to do what? To recall something immediately after it is perceived. Are we together? In this type of memory, the retention time is extremely brief. That is generally from a fraction of a second to several seconds. Immediate memory is needed when we want to remember a thing for a short time. And you can then forget it. E.g., we remember telephone numbers till we get connection to that number. We remember telephone numbers till we get connection to that number. So basically, here's an example to say the type of memory which helps you to remember immediate things, remember immediately. That's what is called sensory or immediate memory. Someone has given you a phone number and you're able to remember it immediately. That's what is helping you. That's which type of memory? That's immediate memory. And there's long-term memory. Long-term memory. Long-term memory stores all the significant events, or essential events, or the important events that mark our lives and lets us retain the meaning of words and the physical skills that we have learned. Its capacity seems unlimited, and it has last days, months, years, or even an entire lifetime, because it's long term. Right? Long-term memory, it sometimes distorts the facts, and it tends to become less reliable as we age. Long-term memory codes information according to meaning, pattern, and other characteristics. For example, the multiplication tables we have flagged, the poem we have memorized, our date of birth, etc., and so forth and so on. These are in the long-term memory. What helps you to remember? Things you did in the past. That maybe, for example, you were born on 5 May 1938. Yeah? You remember because that information is stored in the long-term memory. And all the events we did in the past, you are very able to remember them. Why? That information is kept in the long-term memory. So long-term memory helps you to remember all these things, the events you did in the past. I remember then, I was, yes, a girl of 15, yeah, yes, I was in Form 2, I was rewarded with 100,000 after passing exams. Because, you know what, the teacher really used to love me very much. I remember that, yeah, that particular teacher was so called, yes, Madam Sylvia, all right? Something like that. Somebody reciting whatever was happening or had been happening in the past, telling the stories of the past. So that information he acquired in the past is stored in the long-term memory. Short-term memories, but there's another short term. There's sensory memory or immediate memory, and then short-term memory and long-term memory. Okay? Let's talk something about short-term. Short-term. Short-term memory, it is a temporary memory where the retention is less than 1 second in immediate memory. The information temporarily stored in short-term memory may last as long as 30 seconds, even if the material is not being rehearsed. Example, experimental evidences show that 7 plus or minus 2 item numbers can be stored in short-term memory at one time. It might be very hard for you to comprehend all these things as a go. But you take time to go through the material, it will be easier for you, and then you'll be able even to know how your brain functions. Because it all deals with the brain, all right? Which is our giant filing cabinet. Keeping different information, and that information, that data is sorted. No mixed up, no. We have file for this particular kind of information. We have file for this kind of information. File for this kind of information. File for this. All those files are there within your giant filing cabinet of the brain. All right? Applicability to learning. Memory and learning are so closely connected that we often confuse them with each other. Memory and learning are closely related concepts. Learning is the acquisition of skill or knowledge, while memory is the expression of what you have acquired. I like this. Acquisition of skills and knowledge occurs slowly and rebelliously in learning. But if acquisition occurs instantly, that's making a memory. Learning is a process that modifies a subsequent behavior. Memory is the ability to remember past what? Experience.